Hey guys, Chad, a mine operator. I am here with Harry. We are here testing a Millsite and some of the tailings that have been processed. There are thousands of tons according to the owner, and there's also a lot of stockpiled head ore. So we're out here, we're gonna find out if we can find any gold, any silver. The particular mine owner had some chemical assays done, and they're pretty exciting to see. Harry is using the XRF to take some assays of some grab samples that we had picked up as we walked around and started scouting out the site. Come take a look at our setup. Harry is using the XRF and he's got a rock saw here if we need to cut any fresh faces. We have our Geiger counter with us, as we might have some radioactive elements here. And we are recording and documenting all of our test samples. What are you picking up, Harry?
Silver, about 1,700 parts per million.
That's the most we've ever picked up
Right
on
here?
a grab sample.
So far here, yeah. I gotta see that under the microscope. That was right here in that sulfide looking iron sulfide.
So that digital microscope works really good. I like that.
Yeah, I like this little dial knob. It makes it easy to adjust.
And this is the same sample that we just got 1,800 parts per million silver on, right?
Yeah, let me see if I can move it a little bit for you, get a lay of the land. It was just a cubic centimeter that I scanned. That's the spot I scanned.
And we're looking at, what do you think, a 800 times zoom, maybe?
This goes up to 1200, so this is probably somewhere around 1,000 magnification.
Up on the hill, you could see where material was fed into the circuit, where the old crusher, probably a stamp mill, was here. And over there, it's hard to see, but we'll show you later where the leach tanks were. And you could see the benches. This is where some of the tailings were washed down, and we'll show you how large this place is. The stamp mill was here, and they had ore coming in on top of the hill. So whatever they had, some kind of chute or tram, or maybe there was a big storage bin, an ore bin here feeding it, is gone now. But they would mill there apparently, and they would leach, and you can follow my finger down and see where the leach tailings go. Apparently there's quite a bit that go down in that wash. The tailings used to be a lot taller than where I'm standing now, and they're eroding into this wash, large wash down there. There's a lot of tailings of ore that's been leached. I'm grabbing a pile here, also pulling a sample here, and if you can see it, you can see the slope. See how it's benching upwards? So up there they had a leach tank on that round concrete pad, and the tailings were being discharged out here and coming back this way, draining downhill. So this is what we want to test and see if it has good values. We have decided to offer memberships. Now, why are we doing this? There are many mines out there that need to be sampled, and a lot of mine owners are reaching out to us to go and help them out. Sample mines, secure open hazards. We could start bulk sampling some of these mines, the dump piles, the tailings, some of the ore underground, and start feeding our mill site. We have a mill site that is sitting idle right now, but we want to start shipping ore to it, and our mining season starts in October. We're going to end up turning on our mill site and showing you guys some great gold and silver coming from a variety of mine sites. Some we own, and some are from different mine owners. So Harry, we could use some help when we're out here sampling, right?
Definitely.
You guys want to come shovel? You want to come pan with us? You want to come explore? Join as a Pure Gold member and come out with us Now, if you can't join us and put boots on the ground at a mine site or a mill site, you can join virtually. We'll meet with you online and you can be part of our video that way. Memberships will also allow us to be able to continue to make great content. It'll help us to also upgrade some of the equipment we're using, get some better equipment to use out here at the mine sites and sampling and mill sites. We have a mill site, but no heavy equipment to move all the tonnage. So that's the next part of the puzzle, is to get a mini excavator or skid steer for our mining season. And our goal is to do it full time. That's all we want to do, is to mine in a mill. And we want you guys to come along with us on this adventure because it's going to be a good one. So stay tuned and thank you for your support. This is our first pan test. We'll find out what we got. Those look like sulfides.
Oh yeah, Sulfide City.
Oh yeah.
Sulfides. Let me get this crap out of here.
So Harry has a great panning technique, and using very small amounts of water in the pan. You don't need much when you're dealing with superfine gold and sulfides. Don't think placer, don't think a lot of water. You need very minimal water, otherwise you're going to wash all that fine material back and out of the pan.
I got lead.
Got lead.
I got maybe 1 or 2 specks, but I don't know what that is.
All right, so one thing I'm real curious on, maybe we'll try it with this sample, is to, we want to test out that little microscope that attaches to a cell phone. That's what I got here. Jason from Mount Baker Mining and Metals recommended this. It's 200 times zoom microscope, and so we're going to give that a shot on this little pan test, and we'll show you guys what it looks like. There are a lot of sulfides in this pan.
Yeah, once it dries out, I can shoot it with the XRF so it doesn't stick to the lens.
Great idea. All right, so right now we're using the little microscope that attaches to the cell phone, 200 times zoom. And this is what you get when looking at material in a pan. So which sample are you panning now?
This is what we started to get into the leach tailings.
That was an easier hole for me to dig too.
Yeah, it looked like you were digging in chalk. See how good their leach was. Blaine taught me to pan this way so you can see things come down the center of the pan. For the ultra fine stuff.
That is a great technique.
It takes longer, it's not as efficient, but if I want to see what's in it, you know, I want to see them all.
Yeah, if you try to do a speed pan like for placer mining, plaster sampling, you're gonna not find anything.
I gotta go to clean water, I can't see.
All right, let's go over here. Now the wind just picked up, so you'll probably hear that on the camera.
Sulfides. So we got iron pyrites.
Oh wow.
The chunky ones.
Oh yeah, they're big.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. So they used cyanide to leach back in the early 1900s, and cyanide doesn't do a good job with, you know, platinum group elements or even gold sulfides, refractory ores. It won't get the gold. So you might come across high-grade material still there in a leach pile.
Yeah, it's all sulfides, man. I'm not getting any visible free melt.
All right, so I wanted to give you an idea of how we took a sample from each of the 9 holes. We grabbed about 3 pounds from each of the piles. This is what we got. So 9 different spots, and we're gonna go ahead and mill it. So Harry, this is the orbital crusher.
Yes, sir.
How much material does this process?
It's claimed you can do 300 pounds an hour if you open the gate to the widest setting, the widest gap. But if you tighten it down to like 1/8 inch, you know, it's gonna slow it down. But
all right,
if you're trying to run 300 pounds an hour in this thing, you probably should get something bigger.
Yeah.
But this is good for small tests like this, and then we can bag it and tag it here, and then we can take it and go concentrate it. But I just want to break up a little bit of the bigger stuff just to get an idea.
That's cool.
I mean, obviously, if we wanted it perfect, we'd pulverize it, but we're not. We're just doing a sniff test.
Yeah. What's great about this is it controls the dust. It's sealed right on the bucket, huh?
Yeah. I had to put a rubber seal and some weather seal on the sides where it connects to the base plate to prevent the dust from coming out the sides. But other than that,
yeah, not bad.
Pretty good.
So what's the mechanism in there? If you guys don't know what orbital crushers, how they operate.
It's just an eccentric shaft. So bearings, eccentric shaft, just like a jaw crusher, except a jaw. Instead of a jaw, you have a roller that rolls against a stationary plate, and it just mashes the rock.
Nice. All right, now you guys know what an orbital crusher is.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're going to show you how this operates.
I love it when it works the first pull. See how this thing does in 105 degrees.
That was pretty fast.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's going to be easier to work with now.
Yep. Yeah, and what's the max feed size on that?
I don't know, let's find out. It's like golf ball size, but I actually needed to do this. Some of these are going to be too big to put in here, but
yeah.
about as big as you can fit, right? Yeah. That one's too big.
Yeah, so that piece looks like probably nice. That one.
That one's a little too big.
Okay. So we could break that with a hammer.
So if that happens, then you just turn it off and then wait.
There we go. Never reach in there while it's running.
Use a single jack.
There you go.
Now we can run it here. Look at that.
Yeah. That'll take that, no problem.
Now you feed it. Does that answer your question? How big?
Yes, it does.
All right.
So that's just what we crushed up. That is awesome.
I can get it finer if I close the gap to the maximum closure gap, but this is going through a hammer mill next anyways, so it doesn't matter. And so I don't have to get it that small because it's going to go through a little hammer mill, a little impact K&N. So we'll get Conman on that job.
Awesome. He'll be excited to do that. Now, Harry's over here. We're gonna do some grid sectional sampling and find out if we see any values in any of this material. Now I'll show you the pond. All right, so I caught up to Harry. He's starting his first sample on top here. You notice down below, that's where their pond was at. Even looks like there's a liner in there. That's got to be more recent. Maybe stockpiled ore here. I'll have to take a look at that. There's a lot of material here, but we don't know if there's any good values. Approximately where Harry's digging now, that's where we grabbed that the grab sample that had 1,800 parts per million silver on one little spot. And there's a few of its brothers and sisters around there. So we're gonna grid sample this entire thing and see if we can get any values in this. We found what appears to be ore here, or some material with a lot of sulfides.
This definitely.
There's quite a bit in there. And I got that little microscope. I'll go over that with my phone.
That's rad.
That is.
I bet you it's dark like that from the lead.
Interesting.
We'll see. But there's a good chance lead did that.
Yeah.
Lead turns dark like that in the sun. I didn't get much manganese, but you know, there could be manganese here too.
I'm wondering if we're getting silver in these bands here.
Well, I was finding bits of that up there, so I mean if this stuff, if we collect this separately and test it, then that'll be a process of elimination.
Yep.
You know, there's not much of it up here.
Yeah, and if that's where the value's at, that's what we need to identify.
But if I see pieces of quartz like this and it's got the gray stuff in there, I like to see that.
Yeah.
I found good gold in quartz that had grays in it.
Okay.
But that was a different deposit.
All right, now to see if we could find a lot more of this material. Yay! It's not hot at all up here.
No, not at all. We took samples up top, and it was hard to bring them down. We have about maybe 80 pounds with us, and we're going to crush it through the orbital. Then we're going to split it down to about 2 pounds, get a head ore sample so that we could get a good assay on that to compare against a concentrate assay that we're going to get. So we're going to get started. Take a look.
That was pretty quick, Harry.
Yes, sir. Here we go. That's ready for a hammer mill.
Perfect. We're going to end up putting that through the mill tomorrow, but today we'll be able to run that through our splitter to get our head ore sample. All right, that's what's next. I made this splitter out of 1/8" steel and some angle iron, and it worked out really good. Got a 1/2 inch gap, that's why we are using 1/2 inch minus material for our split, and it's actually pretty quick. So this is what the material looks like, and we're about a little over 2 pounds in there. But you do this when you want to get a representative sample, and this is a really good method. The other thing you could do is quarter splitting, but if you got a splitter or you can make one, it's a great tool to have for lab work.
Give me that.
Yeah. All right, so Harry, you were saying this is the second hole we dug.
Yeah, you're on the second one now.
And it is loaded with sulfides.
Good news.
Good news. Because sulfides here mean higher gold and higher silver values. Usually a pan goes much faster than this. I would have been done, but super heavy. See if you can see that on the camera here. Sulfide City.
You get one shot. What are we doing?
Okay, we are headed into this prospect. Apparently, this is where they were pulling ore out and hoisting it up to the top. We don't know what we're going to expect to see, but let's get in there and find out.
This might be a real short trip. I kind of forgot the snake grabber. That was dumb. Mr. Mojave Green.
Yep, got to do our snake check.
Yeah, without a snake stick.
You look there, I'll look for above hazards.
Everything's a hazard here. Okay. He's getting water from down here.
Yeah, this is the location where he said he did get some water. Okay. Cool.
I can already tell this light's not going to work out for this camera. Because it's like a spot.
Oh, yes. All right.
We'll have to be completely dark. See this? See this one, how it gets kind of
Yeah.
You need more of a flood effect.
You know what? This one might work. So I ended up picking up this Klein flashlight. It's got a laser on it and a spot. Check that out. That's not too bad. See how the laser looks. All right. See if you can pick the laser up in the camera.
I can't tell. Well, this is kind of like the back cave, man. The angle down, it's a little steeper, but
yeah.
This doesn't go far either.
Oh yeah, check that out. Stone. Yeah, look at this is easy.
Let me go big beam. I think that's in complete darkness for this thing to really work out.
Gotcha.
I'll have to get another little handheld light.
I'm gonna try this light on my camera and see how well this does. Yeah, not too bad.
We just need like a wide lens flashlight, like powerful. Okay, so if they're chasing this here, this guy.
Yep. So they're chasing this material. So apparently there's values in this. That's a good night rock. Turning into a gallery.
This is as far as here it goes.
Yep. Got water below.
Got a bat.
Right with that. Right there. Right where my spot's at. See if I can get the bat for you guys. I don't know if you can see the bat right there. There's a bat right there. That's cool. All right.
It's kind of cool out here.
Yeah. Good place to escape from the heat. All right, now we got some samples we're going to take back and run. We're going to run them through a K&M mill. This is the small 11-inch mill, and we're going to run it through a sluice, and we're going to dry our cons that we got today and use the XRF to take an assay. All right, I'm here with Conman. He is using his K&M mill. This is the 11-inch one to mill down the sample that we crushed with the orbital. We're going to split that and send off 2 pounds of material of head ore for assay. We want to create a concentrate, send it off for chemical assay, and see if we can confirm some of the numbers that we received from the claim owner.
Not bad out of 40 pounds.
Not bad at all.
It just ran twice. Here's how good this little K&M did. Baby powder.
Oh yeah. Oh, that milled it down nicely.
Yeah.
And one thing to be noted, if you don't have a mill and you can't mill it down like this, you can always send a sample off to a lab and they'll go ahead and mill it down. You'll have to pay for it, but you could at least get some results on the ore that you guys are sampling. Now, check out, we're gonna run this material through a sluice. We're gonna see what kind of gold or silver or any other mineral that we get. We wanna show you what metal we collect.
And I can take this thing off.
Yeah.
This stuff is heavy, man. It doesn't want to come out. You should get a close up of that. Normally that's black sands and this stuff doesn't want to come out. It's packed in there already.
All right, guys, wanted to show you what we got from the sluice run. This is with Gold Hog cleanup matting, and we have the heaviest cons here. It's loaded with sulfides, and we have the lighter material here. What's interesting about it is everything is magnetic. It's not your typical black sand, so that's interesting. Now we're rerunning everything that was captured in the bucket with a different kind of matting. This is miner's moss with expanded metal, and this will create a large concentrate here. What we want to do is be able to replicate what the claim owner has done. That's why we're at this point not using the shaker table. We want to see what we can capture with the sluice matting and send this off for chemical assay. There is a company that is interested in leaching this material if we're able to replicate what the claim owner has. So in a way, we're being a referee, third-party tester to confirm what the claim owner has done. And if it turns out well, there could be money to be made, but we'll find out. So we wanted to tell you guys that we found the high-grade ore that this claim owner should be going after. This is what it looks like. And there are some cubic sulfide. This is running pretty high in silver. Some of the highest numbers we saw in silver were 2,500 parts per million to 3,000 parts per million. It's also high in zinc. All right, guys, we're gonna take the XRF and use the XRF to assay this grab sample and see how it turns out. So we have it in precious metals mode, and we're looking at 0.26% silver. You can see that there on the camera. That is pretty significant.
Look what showed up.
And we got gold. Gold's showing up as well. Takes a lot for gold to show up. All right, we changed into soils mode now with the XRF, and we're gonna shoot the same sample and see what shows up. Now take a look at that. Over 3,000 parts per million silver. Now I'll give you an idea, that's around 96 ounces of silver. That's how it would convert over. That's a lot of silver. If you like what you saw, please crush that like button and subscribe. And we thank you.
You're tired.
I'm tired, man. I did this with Jason.